Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome back to Rank Talks Ball. We're here for another Watchalong. This time it's gonna be Paraguay against Colombia in the debut of both teams at the Copa America in Group D. Seb, come on, man. It's been, what, 1 minute, 2 minutes? Come on, man. But anyway, thank you so much for joining. I hope that you're having a good time after an exciting day at the Euros. It's gonna be hard to match the level of intensity of the Euros since the Euros had a final match day and we are only seeing the first few games of the Copa America. So yeah, we're gonna see how everything transpires in this game, which should be pretty exciting. If you watched, first of all, you should have already seen my predictions for the Copa America. Hello, Patrick, as well. Thank you so much for joining. If you've seen my predictions for the Copa America, you know that I have Colombia going all the way to the final. And that is because I'm expecting big things from Colombia. I think they are in great form, and I am a form merchant. I believe that teams coming into good form into tournaments have a high chance to actually perform well. And I just think their team is super complete in every single line. I think they are solid: goalkeeper, defense, midfield, and attack. I'm a bit skeptical of Davinson Sanchez, who is going to start at center back alongside Lukumi, and also their striker, Santos Borré, who I don't really trust as that clinical finisher that Colombia may need to advance. You know further in the competition, but I feel like they can get goals somewhere else. Luchito Diaz is going to be a key part in that. James Rodriguez for the national team is a different beast. So those are the players that I'm banking on for Colombia to make it far into the tournament. But yeah, just share your thoughts in the chat, make some score predictions, and we'll see. The game is going to start in like 10 minutes or so. Paraguay 1, Colombia 0, Brazil 2, Costa Rica 0. Yours. Okay, Paraguay 1, Colombia 0. That is crazy. That is crazy for two reasons. One, Paraguay beating Colombia definitely would be okay. Colombia 1, Paraguay 0. Okay. Um, being here close to midnight. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. I was gonna say because I think Paraguay are gonna be very competitive this game. Um, it's a game I'm excited for because I feel like both teams definitely have good midfields and good defense, and Paraguay still has threatening players up top that they can rely on to maybe get a result. But the problem is that Paraguay don't score goals. They really don't. I'm gonna be very surprised if Paraguay score a goal in this game. The Colombia stocks are plummeting down harder than the Argentine peso. That is what's going to happen if Paraguay manages to score a goal past Colombia. They simply don't score against anybody. So if they score this game, I would be shocked. I have 2-0 for Colombia. I think that they'll actually get a second. This game is going to be close, though. I expect that Paraguay are going to fight back. They're going to have chances. They're just going to miss them like they always do. And Colombia, maybe it's not going to be a complete stomp. They are definitely not going to roll over Paraguay, but it should be a convincing win, in my opinion. And I think that Brazil is going to take care of business against Costa Rica. This Costa Rica team is incredibly young, doesn't have any experience. They are still trying to develop into a new project for the next World Cup qualifying cycle. So I think that 3-0 for Brazil is going to happen. Yeah, maybe just a convincing performance, but against a team that doesn't have the best level. Patrick says 1-0 for Colombia and 4-0 for Brazil. Fair enough. Um, Tapiwa, thank you so much for joining the stream. It's great having you on. I'm seeing a narrow win for Colombia and narrow win for Brazil today. Listen, it may happen because Brazil really haven't been that good. I'm expecting that they'll get a lot of goals just because I really don't think Costa Rica is. I think they are the worst team in the tournament, honestly. Which is maybe a bit harsh considering Bolivia is also there. But this Costa Rica team really has no experience, and all of their key leaders, except for Joel Campbell, have already moved on. They don't really have a lot of talent coming up, but yeah, they have potential for the future, but not now. This tournament is a bit too early for them. Paraguay are good defensively. They just need to start averaging 1 or 2 goals per game, and they'll be a super upper half in CONMEBOL. Yeah, small margins, definitely. And it's weird because with Julian Ciso, Miguel Almiron, like you'd expect Paraguay to be able to score 1 or 2 goals per game, but no, they really don't. They score none. They only have 1 goal in 6 games, World Cup qualifiers already, and that 1 goal was against Bolivia at home, the game where you're expected to thrash Bolivia because they are so bad outside of the altitude. So it really doesn't look good for Paraguay. But yeah, like you were saying, they are a decent team. They were also incredibly unlucky in that first fixture against Peru. They hit the woodwork like 4 or 3 times. They were creating a lot of chances and they should have won that game, but it seems like they are cursed. Galiese had to make a lot of saves as well. Yeah, it doesn't work for Paraguay, it seems. On paper, that is, because I expected Argentina, Uruguay, Colombia, Brazil all to win their opening games, but knowing football, one of them will mess up. Yeah, I mean, Argentina and Uruguay, they won, yes, but the CONCACAF teams were pretty competitive in those games. Canada and Panama, I think, were both pretty competitive in their respective games, but they were a bit too naive, in my opinion, and Argentina and Uruguay both deservedly won and should have even scored more goals. I think that both Argentina and Uruguay had very similar games in the sense that they got tested defensively and also they weren't clinical in the final third, but they still won because they were just so superior to their opponents. Hello, AD. Thank you for joining the stream. The game is going to be starting soon, in like 5 minutes from now. We're going to see what transpires. More thoughts on Colombia. I think that the midfield duo of Lerma and Richard Rios is the correct choice from Nestor Lorenzo. I think that they have the best chance of actually supporting James Rodriguez, not having him track as much and just cover space for him and allow him to be that creative outlet for James. I think that it was the best option. Being honest, the only 2 questionable selections on this 11 is Davinson Sanchez as center back and Santos Borré as striker, but I get it because Davinson Sanchez has been the one who has been starting the most in that back line, as well as Borré. And Borré also scored in that match against the USA, so that pretty much secured him a spot into this game and the Copa America. Colombia won the Copa America in 2001 at home against Mexico 1-0. I think your prediction could be either clinical or believable, but maybe we'll see. Yeah, I mean, that 2001 Copa America was pretty weird. Argentina, who were top of the qualifiers, decided to not participate in the tournament, basically. If you've seen my video on the history of the Copa America, you know it was for quote-unquote security reasons because Colombia was still dealing with fights against the FARCs and different drug cartels in the country. So it wasn't an easy time for Colombia, but the situation was getting better, and it was pretty much an excuse for the Argentinian players to rest. Same with Brazil, who rested their best players and sent a B team. And and they got eliminated by Honduras. So it was definitely a bit of a weird Copa America, but you can only beat those who are in front of you. So fair play to Colombia, you know. Um, what do you think of Svensson's 2002 free kick versus Argentina? Look, I hadn't even been born yet. Um, it still pains me because that 2002 team really had the potential to go all the way and win a World Cup, but it was a very tough group and things just didn't click on those matches, especially against England and especially Sweden. Um, and yeah, Svensson just wonderful free kick. I remember that even who was in goal? Um, I'm blanking on who was on goal for Argentina. Was it? It wasn't Burgos. I forgot who was in goal for Argentina, but I remember that he gets a touch of the ball as well. It was like very actually close to saving it, but yeah, it wasn't meant to be, I suppose. Still amazing for Sweden to draw that game and top a group with Argentina and England, who looked fantastic in the qualifiers and had amazing teams. Okay, time for national anthems. We're already getting close to the start of the game. Oi. Darío Herrera, I hate this referee. I hate this referee. He's a referee for the Argentinian league. He's so bad. He's so bad. I don't know why he gets called up to tournaments like this. It's good to see finally a packed stadium, honestly, because it was so frustrating the last few matches seeing half-empty stadiums because the ticket prices were so high and because CONMEBOL didn't organize the games where most of the population, most of the immigrants can actually go to. It's good to see that a lot of Colombians especially showed up. The stadium is completely yellow, basically. Um, and yeah, that was also a surprise that Gustavo Gomez is not starting in the back line for Paraguay. He's usually the captain of the team as well. So, and they have a new goalkeeper. Like they are literally starting a new goalkeeper at the Copa America. Coronel is not playing. So, a lot of changes defensively for Paraguay that were very unexpected. And I don't know, because I felt like they didn't need to change their defense. If anything, it was their attack that needed to change. They are going with um, Almiron, Enciso, and not Villasandi. Who else? I don't think it was. Bichesant is playing in midfield. Alright, and we're off. I completely forgot about the clock, but this is what you get for with a scuffed stream. But I believe that I'm only like 2 seconds behind. So Paraguay already setting up in a bit of a high pressure line. I I expect them to actually go get Colombia, especially in the first few minutes. I don't think they should shy away from attacking this game. Um, Obviously, if they get a draw, that might be good. Because after that, they need to play Brazil in the next game. And they play Costa Rica in the final match day. So if they can collect 2 points from their first 2 games and then beat Costa Rica, that puts a lot of pressure on Colombia and Brazil in that game that they're going to face against each other in the final match day. So getting 2 draws for Paraguay is actually not the worst thing. Now, if they get a win, that changes the whole dynamic of the group. But for that, they need to score. And for that, they need to attack. Oh, and here comes Colombia in the break already. That was a bad giveaway. Okay, they get the goal back. Hello, Mats. Thank you for joining. Game has just started. Paraguay recovering the ball up high, but nah, Almiron doesn't pass it. He should have opened it wide. Oh, Luchito. Oh, Luchito. Oh, Luchito. Ah. Goes out for a throwing. But Lucho Diaz was already cooking. I missed your answer to Seb's question. Look, it's a good free kick, okay? It's a good free kick. But yeah, I hadn't even been born yet, so it's not like it personally bothers me. But that Argentina team had something special. Okay, what was that? Okay, what was that? Nah. Why is Paraguay attempting a shot from like... Bro. Nah, but we're trying shots from like 30 meters out, just trying to get a goal out of nowhere. That's what Paraguay is up to. They didn't mention it in the transmission. I'm trying to see who's the last attacker for Uruguay. Arce it was, the striker for Liga de Quito. Why is he shooting from that range? Michael, thank you so much for joining. What do we have here? A watch-along. Yes, this is actually the 3rd watch-along we've done after Argentina, Canada, and Chile, Peru. And we're going to have one... We're actually going to have more watch-alongs in a row, because tomorrow it's Argentina, Chile, and the day after we're going to have Venezuela, Mexico. So a lot of watch-alongs are going to be happening. And this is going to be an interesting game, especially if Paraguay stop shooting from 40 meters out like Arce just did and sending it to Mars. I know that Paraguay ain't scoring a goal, but if they keep trying like that, they are really not going to score. We're here to see if Colombia is the real deal or not. Because if they concede, like I was saying earlier, if they concede to Paraguay, the Colombian stocks are plummeting like the Argentine peso. That's what's going to happen. Also, reminder, as every other watch-along, no spoilers in chat. If something big happens in the game, don't worry. Don't need to type out about it. I'm going to watch it eventually. I'm going to see it eventually. And the only thing you'll be doing by telling me what's going on in the game is ruin my reaction, which pretty much ruins the whole reason I'm doing this watch-along, because you're doing the watch-along to see my reaction. So if you ruin that, what's the point? And if I see a spoiler in the chat, I'm going to close the chat and I'm not going to look at it anymore. Ooh, Richard Rios already scores a banger, but goes just wide. So yeah, no spoilers. If that had gone in, I didn't want to see a spoiler for that. Rank, be honest with me. Is there anything in Paraguay? Look, they're playing with house money. There's no expectations on Paraguay, and that's the dangerous thing. Because when there's no expectations for them, they tend to do something, especially at the Copa America. This is their thing. They get draws, they make it uncomfortable, they win on penalties, they go through. That is what it is. Which is worse, Argentine peso or Nigerian naira? I don't know what's the current state of the Nigerian naira. I assume that if you're asking this question, it's not really great. I wouldn't invest in Argentine peso ever. Not even Argentines invest in Argentine pesos, so don't do that. Rodriguez and Diaz, yes sir. Luchito, he was already trying to cook in the earlier minutes. But Richard Rios, who attempted that shot from long distance a minute ago or so, very underrated player playing at Palmeiras. I would always say that the players who are in South America are underrated just because people who are Eurocentric don't really know about the players who play in the Copa Libertadores or the Brazilian League, the Mexican League and stuff. Just because you come from a league that isn't from Europe doesn't mean you're a bad player. And Richard Rios could definitely play in Europe, and he's starting for Colombia, one of the best national teams, not only in South America but the world, for a reason. The guy is really, really good. Nigerian Naira has been really bad. Fair enough. Alright, bro. Mike, take care, man. Hope you have a good time sleeping. You really need it. You've been living off coffee for a while now. So yeah, I hope that this game delivers so you can see enough highlights tomorrow. And I'll happily check out those reactions tomorrow morning when they happen. And yeah, it's been a crazy day at the Euros as well, so you need some rest, man. I was told that that a banana rice in Nigeria has gone for 30,000 to 80,000 nairas. Oh dear. In how much time? Because that's like 115%. I'm not good at math. If you couldn't tell, I'm not good at math, but you know, we try our best. We try our best. Okay, so chat, I have a question for you guys. I know that the game has already started, but I still want to know your thoughts. Do you think that Paraguay has a chance to get a result this game? A result as in a 0-0 draw because they are not scoring. I think that they can, but it needs to be a real underperformance from Colombia, in my opinion. I think that the only way that Paraguay get a result in this game is if Colombia completely flops, which they can, because Colombian teams are known to underperform when the pressure is on and when they have expectations, which they definitely have now. So it's definitely possible that they get a result. I think it's more likely that they get a result against Brazil because of the current state that Brazil is at right now, unless they get scared, because it's very likely that Paraguay also gets scared against Brazil just because it's Brazil, and yeah, just lose that game of momentum. Because I know that if Paraguay actually disrespected Brazil, they could definitely get a result in that game. A 3% chance, Jesus, that is absurdly low. But yeah, maybe. Good evening, hello BLE, Nicola. Thank you for joining the stream. Paraguay is trying though. They had a corner. Oh, no way. Vargas was way off his line, but Arce is not able to head the ball. And yeah, this is the avenue to success for Paraguay, set pieces. But that corner was poorly taken, and the rebound, Vargas has to do better there to clear it. He came out of his line and tried to clear it with his fists, but it was like an extremely short clearance, and that allowed Arce to get a rebound, but he wasn't able to head it before the defense, and so Colombia are saved. What is the best possible outcome here? For who? For these teams is to win. For Argentina don't mind because these teams are on the other side of the bracket. I guess it would be nice if Colombia got grouped because that would eliminate some of the competition, but I don't think Argentina cares about what happens in this game. And from a neutral's perspective, I don't know, like a lot of goals, that is the best outcome. So it looks like we know two people attending Copa America. So Alejandro, I know, I know AD. Yeah, AD is gonna go to the USA Panama game, and after that, you said Ryan was going to the Copa America games. So that's three. And I'm trying to remember if someone else is attending the Copa America a game live, list that we both know of. Oh, Paraguay just getting bullied off the ball currently. They were holding some good spells of possession at the start, and their pressing was good. Oh, their pressing is still good. Never mind. Their pressing is still good, but Colombia is even better. The build-up play. Here comes James. Lucho Diaz. Lucho Diaz on the wing. That cross is never getting anywhere. Yes, I didn't think we were counting Ryan. Well, I just remember Ryan, honestly, because you mentioned he was going to attend a few games as well. And yeah, I personally don't know him. I haven't had a chance to speak with him, but at least I've watched his content. And we technically did collab in a piece together, even though it was a bit of an indirect collab through your channel, obviously. And after that, I know a few people who are going to the MetLife Stadium tomorrow to see Argentina-Chile, because I have, I have relatives in New Jersey, so they are gonna be going there. They are basically like my setup station for an eventual trip to the 2026 World Cup. So it's basically like relatives that I'm forced to be in a good relationship with, or else I have no accommodation. And that's the first yellow card of the game for Jefferson Lerma. It's strange because I would have expected Paraguay to get yellow cards, but yeah, it's a bad challenge, and it stopped a potential counter attack that Almiron was trying to create. So definitely a yellow. So far, Paraguay very composed, very calm. Doesn't seem like they are in any rush to go at Colombia. And Colombia, they have possession. They try to create chances down the flank, but it's not that they are creating any danger. I think that Santos Borré needs to be more of a reference point inside the box instead of dropping deep so much to try and collect the ball. Imagine seeing it on Ryan's blog. I forgot the previous comment. I think Seb once said he had a relative in New York too. Imagine seeing in Ryan's blog. Yeah, seeing it on Ryan's blog would be pretty cool. If we go to the 2026 World Cup, we all have to do vlogs where we would appear in each other's vlogs. That's what would happen, I suppose, if we were in a bit of a group. a communal block, community block. Nothing. That somehow is not a foul. That's CONMEBOL for you. That really looked like a foul from Villasanti in the midfield. Diaz in 87 for 4. Yeah, yeah. I hadn't noticed that you had written AD because the AD was covered by the heart that you see in the chat over here. You see like this heart, it was blocking the AD, so I didn't say that the comment actually said AD. But yeah, AD should get in contact with Ryan at that point, or maybe he should do it now to like watch the USA Panama game together, or at least meet up outside the stadium. Okay, free kick for Paraguay. Both Enciso and Almiron approaching the ball. I assume that they're gonna put a cross in. This could be dangerous for Colombia because we know that this is what Paraguay is all about. It looks like Enciso is the one who's gonna take it. Yeah, Enciso. Ooh! Enciso went for goal. And it was so close. It was a great save from Vargas. Ooh. And Vargas almost leaving a rebound there, but yeah, it was a very tight angle for the rebound, so it was never going in. But the free kick from Enciso was really good. It almost caught Vargas off guard. I've mentioned it both of them, and I mentioned it to both of them, and potentially, yeah. If Sweden qualify for the 2026 World Cup, I'm going, no matter what, even if it means abandoning a job. Listen, Sweden better make a 48-team World Cup. Like, 16 teams. I mean, I say that, and they didn't qualify for a 24-team Euros. But 16 teams out of UEFA are going to the World Cup. I mean, it depends because of the poor results of Sweden at the Nations League. I think that it's possible that they have a very hard qualifying group, but I still expect better from Sweden. I hope that they make the World Cup just for the sake of you being there. We need as many of the gang as possible to be in New York and have a 5-by-8 match or something. I think that's going to be a corner for Colombia, or is it not? Yeah, that should be a corner for Colombia. I hope we get Argentina versus Sweden in New York. That would be crazy. Jefferson Lerma almost gets to head it in, but Alderete was not about to let that happen, and it's another corner for Colombia. Sweden at least have a better manager, that's true. I mean, but being better than Anderson is not a huge, such a high bar, you know. Okay. James. Another cross being put into the box, and it goes very well, that header. But at least we're seeing more for Colombia offensively now. That is the one aspect that they were missing in this game. It's not like they had forced this new keeper for Paraguay into any troubling saves yet. I feel like they should test him more. He's probably going to be nervous on his first day. So we'll see if Colombia actually grow offensively into the game after this small spell. However, here comes Paraguay again. That is a great challenge from Lukumi. Lukumi might be one of the best center backs at this Copa America. Like the season he had with Bologna was insane, and for Colombia he always performs despite having Davinson Sanchez as his partner in crime. World Cup qualifying draw is done after 2024-25 UNL, so we can pad our FIFA ranking versus Estonia and Azerbaijan. Lol. I mean, that is if you beat Azerbaijan, unlike last time. So Slovakia are honestly stronger than us now, but we're better on paper and should win if our squad lives up to its potential. I agree. Sweden has a better squad than Slovakia, but Slovakia, at least from what we've seen in the Euros, look very competent. Although I think that their win against Belgium was pretty lucky. I don't think they really did much to deserve that win. And they should have won against Ukraine, but they conceded that one goal and parked the bus because they were satisfied with the draw. And that's what ended up costing that they allowed Ukraine to go back into the game. So I am still not fully convinced with the Slovakia, being honest. Cristian, bienvenido de vuelta. Gracias por venir. Last year, a son of my parents' friends said he was looking to go to Mexico for the World Cup. Another World Cup in Mexico, like the third time that they're going to host it. Even though they will only host group stage and one round of... How many knockout games does Mexico and Canada get? I'm sure that not a lot. Of the 80 games, 60 are going to be playing in the US, which is like... I don't know what that even is. I get that they have the best stadiums and the most stadiums and the best stadiums, but still, how are you going to give essentially 75% of the tournament to a single country when 3 countries are hosting it? That is insane to me. If most of the guys are in North America for 2026, maybe I should join Sammy and do a collab in Europe. Yeah. Honestly, yeah. And I think that Sammy has a lot of knowledge on football. He can be a bit stubborn and edgy with some of his picks, but they definitely come from a decent foundation from watching football for so many years. Definitely a person that I trust with his judgment. Even though his prediction for Croatia to win the Euros just completely collapsed in a few days. Okay, corner for Paraguay, and Enciso taking it. Cleared again. But Paraguay has had a bunch of set pieces to try and make a difference. They just haven't taken the most out of them. 2 of Mexico's stadiums will host knockout games. Okay. But they host very few knockout games. And I think that quarterfinals onwards is just the United States who's going to host. And Footy Faxed, thank you so much for joining the stream. I just joined the stream and haven't been watching the game. Can you summarize how it's going so for me, please? So, like I was saying earlier, Paraguay has had a few set pieces to threaten Colombia, but Camilo Vargas was only tested on that Enciso free kick that went around the wall, and he had to make a good save for it. Besides that, Colombia has had possession, but they haven't translated that into major attacks. Luis Diaz down the left side, as always, has been like the most threatening asset for Colombia. And Richard Rios had a nice go from outside the box. But it's not like Colombia have really... it's not like Colombia have actually worked that much to get to the goal. And I think that Lukumi is being subbed out. How many injuries have we had this tournament already? I swear that the pitches are not okay. I swear the pitches are not okay. Most of these pitches were actually turf and were switched to grass like at the very last moment for this tournament, because there were like Rolling Stones concerts around the US on these same stadiums, and so most of the grass for these stadiums was like recently changed, and I swear that the pitches don't look good. and that is another injury. We've already had like Edson Alvarez, Araujo got subbed out, Advíncula, and now Lukumi. Jerry Mina is being subbed in. Bro, that back line, Jerry Mina and Davinson Sanchez, it's giving Colombians PTSD. Oh, Lukumi is so mad. He's punching like the bench. Look, like, how is Carlos Cuesta from Racing Genk not getting into this squad as even the third choice center back? How is Jerry Mina above in the pecking order? In the year of our Lord 2024, Davison Sanchez and Jerry Mina is the center back partnership. That feels so bad for Lukumi. And that feels bad for Colombia as well. Colombians gotta hope that it's nothing, because Lukumi was their best asset in defense for sure. It was cool to see Michael and Sammy have a disagreement about Portugal before the World Cup. What was the disagreement about? I was not following that. I don't think I was following Sammy back then during the World Cup. Yeah, I have the same question as Seb. Even then, Uruguay won the Copa America in your country, Argentina in 2011. I remember that very much. Paraguay team, the losing team in the final might be a dark horse, but I think they'll finish second. Second in what? In the group? Paraguay will finish second, in my opinion, in this Copa America. Second on the group or second overall, like runner-up? Because both would be crazy, but Paraguay runner-up of the tournament would be insane. What did you make of the USMNT and Uruguay yesterday? I think that USA, you have to give them credit. They looked pretty good and probably should have scored more goals, but it's Bolivia at sea level. Like, I think it was to be expected of USA to be that dominant. Bolivia barely created any chances. They really are hopeless outside of the altitude. And if it wasn't for Vizcarra and the USA's poor finishing, USA would have won by more goals. Uruguay, they look still to me like one of the favorites to win the competition. They could have scored like 5 goals through Panama in the first half, but they were very wasteful, especially Darwin. In the second half, they clicked at the right moment at the end of the game, but through like 30 minutes, I think from the 50th to the 80th minute, Panama was dominating them. So I think that Uruguay's midfield was pretty underwhelming in their game against Panama. I think they need De La Cruz to start ahead of De Arrascaeta. De Arrascaeta is a player that I really like, but he's shown that he doesn't cut it. Valverde needs to step up, and De La Cruz needs to start. And they need to work on their finishing, just as Argentina. Because against Panama is one thing, for Argentina against Canada is one thing, but once they face big opposition, potentially each other, they're going to need to finish those chances. So Uruguay, they look great. The midfield needs to be more consistent, and the finishing needs to improve. That's about it. Second in the group. Okay, second in the group for Paraguay is more realistic, definitely. I saw it on the replay because I was on Qatar Airways flight at the time. I remember seeing on a map the Qatar Airways flight over Albania. But like I don't understand. Oh, the disagreement. It was about how far Portugal would go. Sammy said final, and I didn't understand why too many people were talking crap on them. Michael was saying Santos and them playing bad football. Yeah, I didn't trust Portugal to reach the final either. Actually, I know what my prediction was. I had Switzerland beating Portugal in the round of 16 before the tournament happened. So I did predict that matchup would happen. I just really, really underestimated Portugal's attack, especially Gonzalo Ramos. Oi. I don't think Paraguay will do any better than 3 points. I mean, I would be surprised if they get a draw either against Colombia or against Brazil. But it wouldn't be the most shocking thing in the world. Especially Brazil. I feel like Brazil has a higher chance to sleep against Paraguay. Even that being said, like I've been saying, Colombia haven't really created that many chances in this game, and they've lost their best center back. So I think there's potential for Paraguay to pounce on this opportunity. I once opened the Quran on a 7-hour Qatar Airways flight on the screen for memes, and it wouldn't let me exit, so I couldn't watch any movies. Listen, the Quran is eternal, man. Like you need to let that sink in. There is no movies for Allah. I also predicted Portugal to lose to Switzerland. Okay, it's gratifying to hear that I wasn't crazy for that prediction, that it was somewhat of a reasonable prediction, even though it aged like milk, like most of my World Cup predictions, which I'm really not proud about. Is my clock going slower than the clock on the broadcast? Because my timer was like 10 seconds behind. Oh, and there it is. Daniel Muñoz, like against Spain, coming off the far post, gets the first for Colombia. I was saying that Colombia weren't really looking good offensively, and there it goes. All they needed, like against Spain, a cross into the far post, and Daniel Muñoz, this time not with a volley but with a header, running in behind past everyone and scoring a great goal for Colombia. That's what they needed. Just open the... Oh, that's an amazing cross. He's completely onside, so no trouble there. And that is 1-0 for Colombia. James Rodriguez with a fantastic cross. James Rodriguez, insane cross. And Muñoz, perfect header as well. To the near post. I mean, he came off the far post and headed it to the near post from his perspective, but it was such a good header. Poor goalkeeper was never getting there. And Muñoz gets another crucial goal for Colombia. I mean, this one more crucial because it's actually in a tournament. Stop the count, says Seb. Yeah, you said 1-0 Colombia. Let's see, maybe they relax now, but I think the floodgates have opened. I didn't get a single 4 out of 4 group stage order correct. I think I did. I must have gotten one. I must have gotten a few. Yeah, I definitely got... Argentina's group I got perfect because I predicted Argentina, Poland, Mexico, Saudi Arabia. I think Group H I also got correct. And Group G. Yeah, I got a few 4 out of 4. No, Group H, no, because I had Uruguay advancing, obviously. So no, that one no. But Group G, yes, because I had Brazil, Switzerland. Actually, no, because Cameroon finished above Serbia. So never mind. I had Brazil, Switzerland, Serbia, Cameroon. And Cameroon ruined that by beating Brazil in the final match day. So, yikes. Muñoz is such a good player. He is. He was already amazing for Racing Genk in Belgium, but the move to Crystal Palace just exposed him to the rest of the world, and Crystal Palace were cooking with him. They went on a crazy winning streak towards the end of the season. Very early question: what country do you think will have the best fan support? Mexico are gonna bring the most numbers. Mexico are gonna bring the most numbers, even more than the USA. Like Mexico is the actual. It may be that the USA are the hosts, but the country that is gonna feel like the host is gonna be Mexico. Mexico are gonna have the most fans. The best support, I still go with Argentina. I still think that Argentina is gonna get the best support. I think somebody is going to fall victim to Steve's imbecile. It doesn't say imbecile, right? Oh, Steve's limbs at the World Cup. What was I reading? It really makes it hard with like this. This heart is really bugging me. Like that heart makes it really hard for me to read some comments because it basically cuts off some of the final letters of the message. Um, Fan support at the World Cup. I just finished my recording my tier list. I'll be I'll be looking after I I'll be looking out for that. I'll watch the tier list video for AFC qualifiers later on, and also 80 tonight after the Brazil game we could discuss the Copa America match day one and kind of make a summary of what we thought of the games and how our opinions on certain teams have potentially changed. Yeah, that was always offside. Almiron was making a run in behind, and I held my breath because I thought that he might be offside, and he was. But wait, he's what? He was clearly onside. Like, oh, okay. Like, the linesman was signaling that the ball actually went out of play at the end of that play. But Almiron had a great opportunity there. It wasn't quite a one-on-one with the keeper. Because Mojica was cornering him, but Mojica was covering that space well, so it wasn't a one-on-one with the keeper, but Almiron still had a chance to potentially score there. Again, Almiron, it's been a while since he has performed for Paraguay, and they really need him for goal scoring. I don't like the schedule of matches, like for the Copa America or for what they did. I meant to ask, who do you think will have the best fan support at the 2026 World Cup? Oh, I thought at the Copa America. Oh, at the World Cup? Again, Mexico are gonna bring the most numbers. That is still gonna be true. And again, Argentina will probably have the best fans as well, unless whenever Senegal qualify, I always feel like they bring a lot of color to the competition. And I feel like England would also send a lot of fans to the USA, but I don't know if I would qualify it as best support. I have a feel USA score an important goal at the World Cup. Someone will go Group A. Wait, I have a feel USA score an important goal at the World. Someone will go to A and E as a victim of Steve's celebrations. I don't understand that comment. Like, they will go to A&E as a victim. What is A&E? I want daybreak after each match day. What? AD? Every day you have football. It's like the best thing. Like a day without football is just a sad day. You have nothing to look forward to. It's too much football. It's never too much football, AD. AD, it's never too much football. I've been sitting here the whole day. I was when there were multiple games at the Euros. One in the morning, one at noon, and one in the afternoon. And then an evening game at the Copa America. Oh, and it's 2-0. Oh, and it's 2-0. Jefferson Lerma with another header. Ay, ay, ay. Paraguay. Again, James Rodriguez. Like, this man. With the national team, he's different. You you cannot judge a player for what he does for club and assume that it's gonna be the same for national team. Again, amazing cross after the free kick. And Lerma heads it into the far post, and just like that, it's 2-0. Guys, James, it's him. It's literally him for Colombia. Look at Nestor Lorenzo is like, yeah, yeah, that guy is class. That guy is class. Another fantastic cross from James. They're checking the goal for a potential offside, I think. But to me, everything seemed fine. Her Gomez says the US fans show up for the World Cup, especially in their own country. He thinks they won't be outnumbered in any of the games. I hope that's true. Because and I hope that at the Copa America they also bring numbers, because the AT&T Stadium last night for the Bolivia game was half empty. I know that they were charging a lot, not only for the tickets but also for the parking. But come on, you have to do better than that if your country is playing at a big tournament. It's just that the attention is not really there for football in the US. So I'm not sure if they play against Mexico, I feel like they might get outnumbered even if the game is played in the US. Five matches per day. Yeah, 5 matches per day. I was sitting here for all 5 matches. It's the best day in ever. You know, a lot of football. Yeah, I just saw goal. Yep. Thanks for not spoiling. My predictions is in shambles. Well, I said 2-0, so if I want my prediction to be right, I'm kind of hoping for a very boring game from now on. So I'm not sure if I actually want my prediction to come true. Crystal Palace are turning up at this Copa. They are. Crystal Palace might be real. I mean, don't Crystal Palace also have the most players in England's squad at the Euros? Isn't that crazy? A&E is a place for non-emergency medical patients. So they may get sent to A&E for Steve's limbs. That looked like a foul. Paraguay should get a free kick. The free kick is instead given to Colombia. Fair enough. Oh, it was offside. Never mind. It's hard to watch matches at work, to be honest. Yeah, from that perspective, it may be true. From a perspective, from a jobless guy, it's the best day ever. AD, there will be Euros break on Thursday and Friday, and surely you'll fit in something with rank before then. I think there is one day where there is no games, like no Euros and no Copa America. And then the knockouts are at the same time as well. Or not the knockouts, the quarterfinals. The last match day of the Copa America group stage collides with the round of 16 of the Euros. I just hit the mic. Crystal Palace have a joint most, I think. Derek Michael should have gone. That is I don't know. It always feels like the best players are the ones who got left out. Because you see that the ones who are actually there are not performing, so you say, oh, this guy should have gone. But like, I don't know. It's like a bit of hindsight 2024 take. It's a lot of hindsight to say, oh, this guy should have gone after the tournament has actually started. At least Euros and Copa games are in the same time. Yep. At least that point is on favor. How well do you think Paraguay and Colombia would do at the Euros? Paraguay would most likely get grouped in almost every group. There are some groups where they could slot in at third, but like I said, it's just so hard when they cannot score goals. Colombia, depends on the form. I feel like Colombia could make semifinals at the Euros. Like, don't forget that this Colombia team recently beat Spain, who are looking like one of the best teams at the Euros. And this Colombia is still unbeaten in CONMEBOL qualifiers. So like, depending on their form on the day, Colombia could go very far in the Euros. And there's the whistle for halftime. 2-0 for Colombia. 2 crosses by James, 2 headers, and they are leading. Paraguay, they tried at the start. They had a few set pieces of their own, but it wasn't like they were really threatening at all during that match. During that first half, I should say. And Colombia, they slowly grew into the game. At first, they were struggling to get past Paraguay's press, but once they managed to sort that out and their midfield began growing into the game, they were able to create a few chances, and that resulted in the first cross from James for Daniel Muñoz, and the second cross for James, this time for Jefferson Lerma. And Colombia are 2-0 up. What are we thinking? Is Colombia going to get a third? Is Paraguay going to score a goal? Like, is Paraguay going to at least get a goal? At least one. I'm not saying they even get that draw, because if they manage to come back from this position, it would be insane. But can they get at least one goal? That's all Paraguayans are asking for, a goal. It's sad that they cannot score. Like, being a Paraguayan fan may be the most depressing thing in the world. Which country has more attractive women, Colombia or Brazil? I don't feel like answering that question. I wonder how Bolivia would do against the UEFA Minions. Depends. In the altitude, they win every game against UEFA Minions. Outside of the altitude, I mean, come on, Bolivia is not San Marino. Guys, Bolivia is not San Marino. Bolivia would beat San Marino even at sea level. Like, let's be real now. Bolivia almost beat Algeria, and they beat Saudi Arabia on sea level. So like, they are not San Marino level. So Bolivia would actually do well. Bolivia versus Luxembourg would be class. Listen, the worst part is that Luxembourg is actually decent in Europe, which I think speaks poorly of Europe. That Luxembourg is a serious team. Obviously not a threat because they have never actually qualified for any tournament. But the fact that Luxembourg is a team that you should potentially look out for speaks of the level of Europe. And yeah, I think that game would unironically be close at sea level. Do you guys want to see a World Cup with Minons? I guess a tournament like that would be interesting, but it wouldn't really get any attention or hype around it because, like, why would it? I'll stick to my 3-0 prediction. You are, like, it's a smart choice. Colombia may very well get a third with how they're playing. And with how bad Paraguay has been, especially, they've fallen off. They've went from better to worst. It's only been a downhill for Paraguay this first half. My boy Rodriguez cooking, yep. James again. Would you take him back at Real Madrid now that Kroos is retiring? Now, for club, he flopped massively. But for Colombia, he's that guy. Bolivia equal to Georgia. I could see that. I could see Bolivia and Georgia being a close match at sea level. Would they qualify for the Euros? I don't think so. I don't think Bolivia would qualify for the Euros. Depends on what group they got. I mean, I guess Georgia did qualify for the Euros, so if I said they are on similar level, they could qualify, but depends too much on the group. And even then, Georgia qualified through the playoffs, so like not actually qualifying directly from their group. In their group, they did pretty poorly, finishing below Norway even, but the playoffs were the Nations League were kind to them, so they were able to qualify through that. So maybe Bolivia could pull something similar off if they had a good Nations League or something. San Marino lost at home to San Kitts and Nevis. Yeah, San Marino is just crazy. Like, I was really hoping that they would get their first, I guess, second win in that game. The cat meme will come out tomorrow. Yes, sir. Argentina, Chile. It's going to be a very late watch along because it's the late kickoff. Mexico, Venezuela is also the late kickoff, so I think it's going to be a bit too late for you, Mats, but for everyone else, I'd be really happy if you join me for those two games. I just realized no mods. Yeah, no, I'm the mod. Like, there aren't that many people in chat where it's really warranted to have mods. It's not like mods actually do anything. Like, AD, if I gave you a mod, would you ban someone if they said something? Being honest, hand in your heart, would you ban someone? Probably Brazil. Brazil for what? What time are the Euros game where you are? So during the group stage, the earlier kickoffs were at 10 a.m. and then 1 p.m. and now 4 p.m. So like the two games today started at 4 p.m. for my time. And tomorrow we're going to have two different times. I think it's going to be 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. again. The earliest kickoffs during the group stage were at 10 a.m. for me. So I kind of had to wake up for those games. But it was a good way to... It was something good to look out for in the morning, you know, with my breakfast. And then I would have lunch during the second game. And then eat a snack during the third game. So it was like good life. Now, sadly, we don't have... we're not going to have that anymore at the Euros. We're going to have at most 2 games per day, 2 set of games per day. Most likely not. Yeah, exactly. Like, why would I give mods to people? Probably Brazil as in my question, or Colombian in Brazilian. Oh, okay. Okay. Listen. Dare I say, overrated. Both countries. Dare I say overrated. Dare I say overrated. Has Sammy opened the prediction contest for tomorrow? He has. For the Euros. At least I saw that he has. All 4 games. I still need to make my predictions. I'm 3 points off the top for the predictions. Like I said today, I got the Croatia-Italy prediction bang on, like 1-1. And so I'm cashing in on those points right now. But it may cost me in the long run, because if Italy had gotten grouped, I would have gotten 3 points for that. I kind of needed them to lose and you know, other teams to do better for them to not be one of the 3rd place team to qualify. But if they hadn't qualified, I would have gotten 3 points for that. And then if Croatia had made the quarters, I would have gotten, I think, another 3 points for Croatia making the quarters. So had Italy been one of the 3rd place teams to exit, and had Croatia beating Switzerland in the round of 16, I would have gotten 6 points for that. So even I'm cashing in on a secure 4 points, but it might have been better that Croatia won and for my predictions, but we're gonna see. I'm 3 points off the top. I have a lot of faith in my chances, but Seb is at the top currently, and he has Germany winning the Euros, and I have Spain winning the Euros. So I'm really looking forward to that potential Germany against Spain in the quarterfinals game as the game that may define if I have a chance to win the prediction contest or not. If Germany wins, it's over. If Germany wins that quarterfinal game against Spain, it's over for me. Because there's no way that I'm scoring more points than Seb. It's going to take a miracle for that. But if Spain wins that game, I feel very good about my chances of actually winning the prediction contest. It's very heated. By the way, what Copa America stream are you planning next? Next one is going to be tomorrow. It's going to be Argentina against Chile. It's the late kickoff, so it's going to be a late stream. And after that, the day after, we're going to have Mexico against Venezuela again as the late kickoff. So we're going to have 3 watch-alongs in a row, including the one today. So yeah. Which team do you want to win Copa if Argentina don't win? I think Colombia. I think Colombia would be my pick. I don't want Uruguay to win it, because if they were to win it, they would get to 16 Copa Americas before us. So I don't want them to hold that. I definitely don't want Brazil to win it, obviously. So I think Colombia. I don't want Chile to win it. I guess Ecuador. I would like Ecuador to win it, but I think it's not realistic. Venezuela, I would love Venezuela to win it, but I don't think it's realistic either. Same as Peru. I would love for Peru to win it, but it's not realistic. So of the ones that are realistic, I think Colombia is the one that I would like to win Copa America. He told me Argentina or Chile. I meant Brazil. Oh, Bro, Pookie, you tried to make a joke and you failed to make a joke. Like, How, man? I need that to happen. I need Germany to rise. Oh, because you bet on Germany to win the Euros, right? Um, so yeah, a lot of people are banking on Germany to win the Euros, which is why I didn't want to pick Germany to win the Euros for the prediction contest because I knew that so many people were gonna go for that, and that meant that I had to outperform them. I knew that if I picked Germany to win the Euros, I probably was secured of a very good place in the predictions. But the problem is that only the winner gets the prize. So like, I had to go all or nothing. So I had Spain, who was I think the fifth favorite according to Sammy's prediction contest to win the Euros. After like Germany, France, England, and Portugal. So if Spain beat Germany, I'm feeling very good about my chances. Looking forward to that one. Yep. Any Euro watch along? Nope. This is a channel about South American football and sometimes Liverpool. So Euros watch along are not taking place. If you want watch alongs for the Euros, go to channels that talk about European football because there are many of those. There are not many channels in English that talk about South American football. There's Deadball TV, me, and a few people like Mike or you, AD, but there are not many channels in English that cover the Copa America. There are a lot of channels in English that cover the Euros, so I need to save my energies for the watch-alongs that actually matter to me, which are the ones for the Copa America. Imagine Italy wins the Euros, I'll be pissed. Imagine how Mike's gonna react to the cat meme. Right now, I would say Spain or Germany. It's looking like they are looking like the two best teams, and that's what makes me so nervous if that matchup happens in the quarterfinals because I could really see either one winning, but I'm really banking on Spain to win if I want to get my predictions right. Second half is about to begin, so we're gonna be checking that. Um, did I mess something up? I think I messed something up. Hold on. And we're underway. Let's see. Can Paraguay score one goal? Just one goal, guys. One goal. Which group game are you looking? Are you most looking forward to at the Copa America? Colombia against Brazil, definitely. Colombia against Brazil. If it was like an Argentina game, the one tomorrow against Chile, I feel like it's gonna be very exciting, especially because it's at the MetLife Stadium where we played the 2016 Copa America final. So I think that tomorrow's game is gonna be very exciting. Also, Mexico against Venezuela is also gonna be extremely exciting, and I'm really looking forward to that. That's why I'm making a stream about it. But Colombia Brazil in the final match day, I think like it's definitely the most top heavy group stage game of the Copa America. Did anyone predict Italy to win Euros in Sammy's contest? I think they did. There were a lot of picks, but I'd need to look at that tweet again to see what were the full picks. Paraguay shouldn't have been selected as a 2030 World Cup host. Um, Based on the reasoning, Uruguay are host because of the 100-year anniversary. Argentina has a vague argument because of their involvement um, in 2030. I think you mean 1930, like us reaching the final against Uruguay. But I mean, I think it's just that you have something against Paraguay, Mats, because you are always very hard on Paraguay in any context. Not only their football team, but their country. It's something like what you had. Who else you had a grudge on? I don't remember currently. Um, Luis Suarez. You also refused to hear anything about Luis Suarez being the best striker of the generation. But you know what? I respect the hustle. Do you think Paraguay have any chance of getting back into this game? No. No. They are not going to score 2 goals. I want to see if they can score one. I want to see if they can at least score one. But there's no way they're scoring 2 goals. Sorry to break it down for you. Sorry to, this game is over. Colombia's going to win. But I want to see if Paraguay can make it interesting. Like, just show something. In some fantasy world, Uruguay alone will be hosting the 2030 World Cup. That would be completely impossible because they have like 3 stadiums that are over 40,000 capacity, and there's no way that they can host a 48-team World Cup. They simply don't have the infrastructure. Not even Argentina and Uruguay together have the infrastructure, so it's impossible. No, why should Paraguay being CONMEBOL headquarters be a legitimate reason to host in 2030? They were also involved in the 1930 World Cup, so like, I guess they have a reason. As one of the founding countries of CONMEBOL too. Yeah, I know, Pookie, but in some fantasy world, like, this is not a Disney movie. It would be like including Switzerland being there for UEFA and or FIFA. Yeah, yeah, it would be like that. So, why Swiss FIFA headquarters? I think that Switzerland is just the headquarters for everything because they have such a secure country. They are neutral in everything, and they are also um, a paradise for bank uh, accounts because Swiss banks don't ask you where you got your money from. They allow you to deposit your money without asking where it's from. So a lot of people have their money in Switzerland because they don't have to let anyone know what it's all about. Probably for money and geography, yep. I'm having the same ideas. Colombia just sitting back at the start of this first half. Paraguay hold possession, but it's not like they can do anything with it. They are trying to progress up the pitch now, but Jerry Mina is there first to recover the ball. I'm a Chelsea fan. I was wondering if you knew anything about Stevao Williams. Oh wait, there's a chance here. Oh, yeah, that's offside for Lucho Diaz. So Estevao Williams, obviously from Palmeiras, the same club that Endrick came from, one of the, I'd say the best team in Brazil at least the most consistent of the last few years. Um, they have a great academy, and Estevao is being sold as the next great thing. At first they said it was Hendrik, and now there are people saying that Estevao is even better than Hendrik. Now I'm not sure if that's true. From what I saw in the Copa Libertadores, I really like Hendrik a lot more than Estevao. I feel like Hendrik has a lot more physicality to his game and that he can use. Like Hendrik doesn't look like he's that young because with the body he has and how he uses it, he looks like an adult when you see him play. Estevao still looks very raw, but that's also because he's younger. So I feel like Estevao definitely has a lot of talent, but he needs to be developed under the right circumstances, and I simply don't trust Chelsea to develop any talent. I don't think it's a great place to grow upon, since Chelsea refused to have long-term projects, basically. Right. But Estevao is actually really talented. I can see the point that Estevao is more talented than Hendrik, but I feel like Hendrik is a more complete player, if that makes sense. Estevao likes to play more on the wing, so you can compare him more to Neymar, and Hendrik plays more like a Pele. Obviously, saving the distances. I don't think Estevao is as good as Neymar, and I don't think that Hendrik is as good as Pele. But just saying that those are the players that I compare them with from their same nationality. If the Southern South American bid won 2030 rights to host the Paraguay hosting games, would be fine. The difference here is the bid failed and Uruguay is giving a game because of the anniversary. Yeah, I suppose. But Paraguay is hosting a game because they have the CONMEBOL headquarters. Look, but maybe that is the whole reason, because they need the CONMEBOL headquarters. So because there are gonna be World Cup games in South America, they need to be closer to the CONMEBOL base. Maybe that's the whole reason. They need to have a game near the headquarters of CONMEBOL. Oi. And that's not a good enough reason. Maybe it's not. It's debatable for sure. I need to if I'm gonna lay down on the sheep ball. This is what working looks like in the 21st century, by the way. So Paraguay makes a substitution. The number 8. Who was number 8? Oi. I need to check that. What was that substitution for Paraguay? I need to inform the people in the chat. So the number 8 is the person who is coming on. Is Bobadilla. Damian Bobadilla, offensive midfielder. Bobadilla wasn't on the pitch yet, but Bobadilla is coming on right now for Paraguay. Chile have just as much of a reason to host as Paraguay do. No, because Paraguay have the CONMEBOL headquarters and Chile doesn't. But I can see the point that Chile also were involved in the 2030 World Cup. I think Uruguay, Spain, Portugal and Morocco should have been given hosting rights. I feel like the borderline with Argentina. Yeah, I think it's just stupid to have opening games in a different country that is not going to host the World Cup. At that point, it feels insulting because it also This allows CONMEBOL from hosting future World Cups because it counts for the World Cup cycle, continental cycle, that we host 3 games, which is stupid. It literally would have been better if we didn't host those opening games because we would have had a chance to host some World Cup in the future. But realistically, if we weren't gonna host this one, we weren't hosting any. Paraguay were claiming for a penalty there for a handball, but that's, even though it hit his hand, it's not punishable with a penalty. So the penalty appeal for Paraguay just not cutting it. And Richard Rios, great piece of skill and gets fouled near the box. Richard Rios is so good. He really dominates the midfield for Colombia and allows James a lot more space to create his magic. And now he's already created another chance by getting this free kick for Colombia. Let's see if James can put in another perfect cross. I swear, people need to stop being so Eurocentric. Like they are amazing players in South America, playing for South American clubs that need to be acknowledged. And the Copa America is the best place for that. So, Caballero and Miguel Almirón being subbed out. Bobadilla and Ramon Sosa coming on. Wow, okay. 58th minute and Miguel Almirón gets subbed out. I think that shows you just how bad he performs for Paraguay lately. Like in 2019, 2020, 2021, he was the guy for Paraguay. And now he's being subbed out. Ooh! Close, Luis Diaz, close for Lucho. The rebound after the free kick. Lucho Diaz strikes it with a volley. Goes just over the crossbar. Like I was saying, the fact that Miguel Almirón went from being the guy for Paraguay to now being subbed out at the 60th minute is crazy. Ramon Sosa is a great player. I really rate him. He plays here for Talleres in the Argentinian league. He's like the best player in the league, and I think that he's either going to Brazil or going to Europe. I don't remember, but Talleres are definitely gonna sell him this market. And Ramon Sosa wanted the move as well. But let's see if he can actually make a difference, because coming on for Almirón is crazy. Let me read the comments. I need to get up for the comments. This is so annoying. I think Uruguay and maybe Argentina should have been given the games, then be allowed in 2034. Yeah, but it was never going to happen because we are not going to build those stadiums. We are never going to have the infrastructure to actually host the games. Who's the best player playing in South America right now? That's a great question. I think it's Nicolás de la Cruz. I think it's Nicolás de la Cruz playing for Flamengo and playing for the Uruguayan national team. He's just a game changer for Uruguay. Like, the Uruguayan midfield was looking lost against Panama until he came on and changed the game, got that assist at the end. De la Cruz just dictates so much in the qualifiers. We saw him score and assist so many goals. He's just a creative outlet for Uruguay. He's so insane with his passing and his set piece taking, and somehow he's still in South America after so many years. He was at River Plate for many years, and now he's at Flamengo in the Brazilian league. I'm thinking about that FIFA wanted to give it to South American bid, but they didn't think it was good enough, as they didn't. So they gave a subsidized compromise. Yep. I mean, they knew that our World Cup would take way more work and way more effort and way more money to make, and it wouldn't probably give as much revenue as the Iberian bid. So they went ahead with that and just made a small compromise to acknowledge the centenary of the World Cup in a horrible way, but acknowledge it at least. Michael also thinks the reason to Paraguay host one game is dumb. He has his head in his hands, and the last member stream I had. So okay, so the fact that Michael had his head in his hands is proof that Paraguay shouldn't host a game. Well, not much Argentina, but CONMEBOL in general. What do you think of Brazil hosting the 2027 FIFA Women's World Cup? I think it's a good chance Argentina will be in the edition in 2027. I hope that we qualify for that World Cup, and I hope that we actually get a win in a Women's World Cup. Argentina have never won a game in a Women's World Cup. We are really bad in women's football. But I hope that can change in the future. I feel like the women's game should get more attention, and yeah, coming to Brazil is amazing for that, because Brazil is the best place to play a tournament of football. The best combination of stadium, fans, aura, it's Brazil. It's football. Like, Brazil is football. So the 2014 World Cup was the best World Cup that I've seen. So having another World Cup, this time a Women's World Cup, will be great. So Paraguay are actually trying to build up play from the back now, trying to go get Colombia, and that is allowing Colombia to get space in behind Paraguay's line now that it's getting more exposed, now that Paraguay are taking more risks. Okay, let's see what Paraguay can get from this one. Great save from Vargas. Great save from Vargas. That was a good chance for Paraguay. Espinosa with a shot from outside the box. The ball was bending towards the near post, but Vargas was quicker and catches the ball. Oh, that is a bad giveaway. Okay, Colombia are not gonna pounce on it. They're just gonna pass the ball around. Keep possession, keep control of the game. It should be cruise sailing for Colombia now, unless they get more scary chances for Brazil. I'm like yawning a lot, man. What is going on? I'm not that tired. I slept well last night, I swear. And this game is not boring. I mean, the problem is that this game is not boring because both teams have chances and both teams are actually trying to play. They are not just fouling each other the whole time, which is also entertaining, to be fair, but these teams are actually trying to play something that resembles football. But the problem is that I cannot see Paraguay scoring, so this game just feels like it's completely over. It's a done deal. Oh, Richard Rios again wins a corner. No, it bounced off him. It's not a corner. Okay, Paraguay. Let's see. What can you do? What would Paraguay? Now that you've subbed in Ramon Sosa, you need to play with a double striker formation with Arce and Enciso, and have Sosa on the wing to try and provide something from them. Hey, that's what Paraguay needs to do. Two striker formation and Sosa on the wing. And just let him vibe. Let him do his thing. Oh, that's a great through ball. Oh no. Okay. The refs are saying that it was an offside from Sosa. It looked slightly offside, yeah, I suppose. I wasn't too sure on that one, honestly. Who's down for Colombia now, bro? What are... I swear, these pitches. USA pitches, what is this? Like, why do you have turf in all your stadiums and just switch it at the last moment to natural grass? It doesn't make sense. Yikes, man. Another injury. Okay, Jefferson Lerma limps his way out. Okay, Jefferson Lerma and Rafael Santos Borré being subbed out. In come Mateus Uribe and John Cordova. Santos Borré really has done nothing this game like I expected. He really isn't effective at the striker. I was expecting John Arias to get some time as the striker, but I guess John Cordova is the fair option for... I guess John Cordova is the first, I guess the second option for Lorenzo, behind Santos Borré and ahead of John Arias. Not John Arias, what I'm saying, John Duran. There are so many Johns in this Colombian team. Like John Duran, John Cordova, John Arias, John Lucumí. Why are there so many Johns in Colombia? There are more Johns in Colombia than in England. Oh my... No way! No way! No shot! Enciso! Paraguay! Chat! We're seeing history! Paraguay have managed to score a goal! Enciso! Wow! No flipping way! Oh, Davinson, this guy! I should have known. I should have known. With Davinson Sanchez and Jerry Mina as your center backs, how can you not concede? You are bound to concede at least one goal. Great cross for Enciso, who performs half a volley and gets one back for for Paraguay against Colombia. Damn! I thought it was a terrible idea even before I told Mike. When Paraguay became good, when Paraguay become good, I'm sure I'll speak more positively about them. Okay, but you're just so harsh on Paraguay every time. And now they have a goal. The 2027 AFCON is tempting to go in East Africa, Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania. Rank about to wake up now. Listen, I didn't think Paraguay had it in them. I didn't think so. I really thought this game was done and dusted. But Paraguay, they got one back. They got me. The Colombian stocks are going down. They actually conceded to the guys who cannot score. I said on the preview, will Paraguay score a goal? And it took them only one game, only 70 minutes to score one goal. They've already exceeded my expectations. I thought I would need to wait until the Costa Rica game to see them score. Patrick wrote that after you reacted. Thank you, Patrick, for not spoiling. Came at the right time. Yeah, thank you for not spoiling. I wonder how Mats feel. All of our predictions are in the mud because Paraguay have actually scored. Nobody expected this. And now Colombia's James is rolling on the floor. The time wasting is gonna start. I don't think, even then, I don't think Paraguay is getting another. I really don't. I think it's already a miracle that they got this. But that was an amazing cross from Sosa, the substitute. See, Ramon Sosa already getting more impact for Paraguay than Miguel Almiron. It is what it is. Ramon Sosa already got more impact than Miguel Almiron for Paraguay. And where does Ramon Sosa play? In Argentina. In South America. Like, the fact that you're a Premier League player doesn't mean that you're gonna do better. Sure, Enciso is the one who got the goal, but I could have scored that goal with a cross that fantastic. Probably not. I'm trash, but it was a classy but simple finish for Enciso. And here comes Enciso again, putting in a through ball. Vargas is quick to catch on to that, and Paraguay are suddenly starting to catch into hope. Paraguay look more hopeful in the game all of a sudden. I don't think they're gonna get a second, but I didn't think they would get one, so I might as well be proving wrong again, I guess. How is Colombia gonna react to this? Surprised. Yeah, surprised, Mats. Surprised. Okay, Enciso, free kick for Paraguay. He's gonna put in a cross into the box. Enciso takes it. It's not a great cross, but Paraguay still hold possession. Guys, if Colombia draw this game, the stocks are completely going down. The final is gonna be Argentina-Uruguay. I have no doubt. You cannot draw points to this Paraguay. Not that Paraguay is bad, it's that Paraguay is not clinical. And even then, you've already conceded to them. But I hope that Colombia find a way to close this one out. I'm still missing the Lucho Diaz goal because they've scored from 2 crosses. In fact, all 3 goals have been crosses into someone. The 2 Colombia goals have been headers. Okay, here's Colombia. No! Oh, what a great interception from Balbuena, saving Paraguay. That was it for Colombia. No, James, you need to shoot at goal. He tried to be nice and give an assist, but if James had shot at goal, that had a better chance of going in. Still, it was a great interception from Balbuena to deny that pass into the box made by James. But that chance for Colombia was huge. And they get denied. Rank, my girl just left me, bro. Don't worry, I'm here for you. No homo. What would your message to any Liverpool fans who would fall out of love with the celebration scoring after... Wait. What would your message be to any Liverpool fans who fall out of love with after celebrating scoring at the Camp Nou? Out of love with Suarez. Okay, yeah, something was missing in that message. Listen. You can be mad about whatever you want, but being mad at someone is stupid for something like that. Suarez has given so much to Liverpool. Oh, Luis Diaz so close to scoring there. Oh, great move from Luis Diaz. He cuts inside and hits the side netting. It was a bit of a tight angle, Yeah, it was a complicated shot. Oh, so close for Luis Diaz. Listen, Liverpool fans who got mad at Suarez scoring against us in the Camp Nou and celebrating, you need to move on, man. Suarez gave a lot to this club. He's not doing it in a disrespectful way. Um, Tak is being shameless on Twitter. I don't want to talk about tactical manager. Like the guy is always so shameless. I'm only shameless on that like an ironic way. Uh, I always tend to be the most objective I can be. Just kidding, I don't have a girlfriend. Okay, I could be your girlfriend then. Don't worry. Good for you, Kule. Mats, you're a savage, man. Come on. I think Suarez should be loved by Liverpool fans more than Nunez. He was that good. Well, yeah, of course Suarez was better than Nunez. He was a country mile better than Nunez. But that doesn't mean you have to love one more than the other. Or at least he said he wouldn't celebrate scoring at Anfield. Yeah. He's saying that USA have better odds to beat Colombia than Brazil. I mean, maybe. The USA have no odds. I mean, him saying that after the USA drew with Brazil 1-1 and lost to Colombia 5-1 is quite crazy. I'm not saying that. I think the USA have very low chances to beat both. But Colombia are a better team than Brazil currently. We're going to see. I feel like Brazil is probably going to beat Costa Rica quite comfortably later tonight. But it's not an indicative of their strength because Costa Rica is really not a good team. He's also saying Colombia is underperforming. Look, if they concede to Paraguay, if you concede to Paraguay, you are underperforming. I agree. Colombia should be doing better than this. And they only scored because of 2 headers. Their build-up play hasn't been the best. I have to agree with that. Colombia is underperforming. Post rank, I said no homo. Chill, dude. Adam Barreiro being subbed in. Striker for San Lorenzo here in the Argentinian league. Arce, the Liga de Quito striker, being subbed out for Paraguay. And also Angel Romero, another former San Lorenzo player. I think Angel is playing in Corinthians in the Brazilian league. Coming on. So Paraguay trying to get a few more offensive options. With a new striker and a new creative midfielder to try and win the game. Which country has the 5th best fans in South America? That is extremely specific. Maybe Colombia. My top 4 would be Argentina, Peru, Uruguay, Brazil. And the 5th would be Colombia. The problem is that, like I said to you before, Uruguay don't really have the numbers, but when playing at home, they pack the stadiums and they chant all day, just like the Argentinians. We have very, very similar fan bases. It's just that, yeah, Uruguay doesn't really have numbers to say something for themselves and make an impressive showing at a tournament. Oh, that is a bad giveaway. Lucky that they gave the foul, because that would have been a great opportunity for Colombia. Espinosa loses the ball. Paraguay are really trying, but they are making a few mistakes on the build-up, and here comes Colombia. Richard Rios dribbling past everyone but loses possession. That was classy from James. I swear, James is him for Colombia. He really is. Colombia is definitely top 4 in South America. They are in my top 10 international fans. Listen, that's your opinion. I think Uruguay is better than them in terms of how good the individual fans are. But Colombia has like what 12 times the population of Uruguay, so in numbers they're gonna make better of a showing. But the Uruguay fans are louder and more passionate than the Colombian fans. It's just that Uruguay is a country of 3 million people. So like it's hard for them to make an impressive showing in tournaments when they're not hosted in Uruguay. I hope South America teams do better next World Cup. What do you mean? A South American team won the freaking World Cup. Colombia's support in Russia was through proven terms of their number and atmosphere. Yeah. Population is also a factor for fans. Definitely it is, but I count how good the fans are. I give more importance to how good the individual fans are, not as much as, oh, this country has more fans so it's a better fan base. Like I prefer quality over quantity. I prefer 300 fans that chant the whole match than 30,000 fans who are sitting like it's a library. You look at the stands and it's a steel frame. This stadium in Houston is packed with Colombians, yet you barely hear any noise. It's impressive when you see the whole stands be completely yellow, but it's not impressive when you don't hear any noise. That was a great cross. Jerry Mina, it's a penalty. It's a penalty for Colombia. It's a pen for Colombia. The Paraguayan fans are protesting. The Paraguayan players are protesting. Jerry Mina falls inside the box. He says that he was being held and the referee buys it, and it's a penalty for Colombia. I want to see the replay. I don't know if it was. I need a replay from closer. Yeah. Is that a penalty? Is that a penalty? I'm not sure if that's a penalty. I want to see a better replay because they were kind of both holding each other. Any shouts for Venezuela? No. Venezuela is more of a baseball country than football country. Their fans are decent, but nah. I mean, 2 teams advancing to knockouts is low for South America, but we only had 4 teams, like half 4 teams advanced. How many countries from Africa advanced? How many countries from Asia advanced? From Asia it was actually decent because 3 advanced. From Africa, it was Morocco, Senegal. Is that it? 2. Half the countries of CONMEBOL advanced to the knockouts. Do you think it's a pen? I don't think that's a pen, at least at first glance. I may need a better replay to see what the ref was seeing. They're checking in VAR right now. Colombia's atmosphere was great in Russia. Yeah, I'm sure it was. But I think that had Uruguay been able to take more numbers, you would have been impressed by their fans as well. And also, you saw England play against Colombia in that World Cup, so you saw them firsthand. They're really checking this one, but they are not giving the ref a good replay, I feel like. Like, I cannot see if it's a penalty or not from this angle. Let's see what he says. No foul, no penalty. No penalty. 80. You're lucky that I wasn't looking at chat. I said no spoilers. I'm gonna watch it eventually. You're lucky that I wasn't looking at chat when you typed no pen. But yeah, no penalty for Colombia. They don't extend their lead. Although Luis Diaz is now attacking on the right. Ah, that is a great clearance. Yeah, I didn't think that was a foul on Jerry Mina, honestly. At least from the text that I got to see, it really didn't look like a penalty. I think it's the correct decision. Oh my bad. Deleting the message doesn't help, AD. Like, I thought my stream was behind. No, AD, wait until I react to talk about the game. And deleting the message doesn't do anything if I've already read it. AD dodged the bullet. Yeah, he dodged one. Like, he was lucky that I was so focused on checking if it was a penalty or not. Usually three South American teams advance, I think, right? Yeah, because Uruguay tend to advance to the knockouts alongside Brazil and Argentina, and then sometimes even four. But like I said, the level of CONMEBOL, we saw only 4 teams qualified because of Peru missing out, and Ecuador were very close, Uruguay were very close, but they both kind of underperformed. I guess you can say that. Oh, I am 2 minutes ahead. Yep. Damn. Oh, I don't think you're 2 minutes ahead. I think that my clock... I'm gonna have to check why my clock is working so weird. Because I clicked start when the... Yeah, no, my clock is working weird. My timer is working weird. It's definitely lagging whenever I watch it. Because I clicked start exactly as the whistle was blown for the second half to begin. And somehow this clock is 2 minutes behind what I'm seeing on TV. So I don't think you're 2 minutes ahead. I think we're at the same time, but this clock is working very bad. I may need to switch timers. I really like this timer because it allowed me to change the scoreboard as well. But if it's gonna work like this, like, what's the point of having a timer if it's gonna work so bad? I may need to change the timer. Uruguay's atmosphere in the third game was good. You're right about that. Yeah, like I said, the problem is that they don't have the numbers. Euro teams also underperformed, you could say. Weird that you're like behind the real game. No, I'm not behind. I think that my timer is working weird. I think Argentina and Peru had a similar impact in terms of the Russia in and out the stadiums. Um, I felt Ecuador impact more than Uruguay in Qatar. Yeah, again, it comes down to numbers. I feel like most of the time. All right, 6 minutes of other time. Already one went through. Whoa, there's so much smoke from the Paraguay fans. They lit a flare. There's so much smoke on the pitch. There's red smoke all over the pitch. Crazy. It's gonna be a tense final few minutes. Let's see. Will Colombia kill off the game? Will Paraguay get an equalizer? Quintero was subbed in during the whole ordeal of the penalty, so he's another offensive option in the midfield for Colombia. I don't like Sweet Caroline, but imagine Uruguay play Ghana in 2026. Before the game, the stadium play the song, and when the artist sings hands, the Uruguayan fans raise their hands. I don't understand. Are you talking that because of the Suarez handball against Ghana? This is similar to when Leverkusen won the league. The red flare. The whole smoke. A yellow card for Garnero for protesting that much. I probably won't join watchalongs for the knockouts. Fair enough. Suarez handball, okay. I didn't quite get the joke. Oh, that is a great cross. Oh! No, Richard Rios kind of missing that. And now Paraguay coming on the break. That was a nice assist. Jerry Mina having problems to clear it. Paraguay are really pushing. They are pressing so high up. They are fighting to get that ball back. And they say it's a foul from Mojica. Oh, not that the ball went out, so it's a throwing for Paraguay. I really need to... It doesn't help that these commentators say basically nothing. Lucho Diaz on the wing. That pass was not gonna... Luis Diaz was very quiet today. I have to be honest. Luis Diaz was very, very quiet today. James Rodriguez is man of the match. Luis Diaz really didn't stand out today. If Colombia wanna go far in the tournament, they're gonna need Luis Diaz to be on his A game. For sure. Before the game in 2022, is somebody outside the stadium without Suarez handball cardboard? Out. Oh, Luis Diaz again. No, couldn't beat his man again. Alderete beat Luis Diaz once again on the defensive duel. Okay, gotta go. See you, Patrick. Take care. Looking forward to Argentina-Chile tomorrow. Yep, everyone remember that tomorrow on the late kickoff, we're gonna be live for Argentina against Chile. The second match, say, for Argentina, the defending World Cup and Copa America champions. We're gonna see if we can get a second win and we can get revenge on Chile at MetLife Stadium. The Colombia players time wasting again. Jerry Mina once again collapses for absolutely nothing. I think Herrera is giving one more minute because of that dive. Yeah, Herrera is giving one more minute because of that dive. No, 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 no way, right? Rojas, Matias Rojas, what is that? Matias Rojas from Inter Miami sends the ball to Narnia, and that is probably gonna be it for Paraguay, who fought kind of like what I did, kind of what I expected them to do, to fight and be competitive in the game. I was just surprised that they actually managed to score because they usually don't. um, Surprised Miguel isn't starting. Who, Almiron? He started the game. He was so trash, he was subbed out in the 60th minute, and Ramon Sosa, his substitute, got the assist, and that is full time. Colombia get a 2-1 win to start off their campaign in the Copa America. Um, so what are we thinking? This definitely wasn't convincing from Colombia. James Rodriguez, man of the match, getting the 2 assists, 2 great crosses, one for Daniel Munoz and the second one for Jefferson Lerma. Their build-up play wasn't great. Um, oh, Miguel the goalkeeper. Okay, yeah. Yeah, and Coronel also. Like, their two main goalkeepers, both weren't starting. They started... This was the first cap for their goalkeeper. And Gomez, yeah, Gustavo Gomez was benched too. But I mean, Paraguay for the most part were solid defensively. Luis Diaz was not able to break through. John Arias was not able to break through. Rafael Santos Borrell was completely invisible. Like, Colombia were only able to score because of 2 crosses from James Rodriguez and 2 headers, one from a set piece by Jefferson Lerma and one from Daniel Munoz making a run in the far post like he did against Spain. And the build-up play from Colombia was just poor. I thought Richard Rios had a good game in the midfield, but there was no connection between the back line and the forwards. And yeah, the front three, just Luis Diaz, Borré, and John Arias were so poor on the day. I really thought that Colombia's front three really didn't show up, and it's worrying signs for Colombia. And as well, if John Lukumi is out with an injury, we have to see the severity of John Lukumi's injury, because I think he's their best center back. And if they have to continue playing at the Copa America with Davison Sanchez and Jerry Mina, I'm getting worried for Colombia. I don't think they are making the final with that back line. So, a win is a win. I wasn't convinced by Colombia. And Paraguay, you know, they did about what I expected. They fought back. They actually got a goal, which I was not expecting. I expected them to fight back, not to get a goal. But they actually managed to score and get a consolation goal, but it wasn't enough for them. And now they are probably going to have to try and find a point against Brazil if they want to have a chance of qualifying from this group. So anyway, I'm going to read some of their comments. Advantage Brazil to top. We're going to have to see. We're going to have to see what... it's very likely that Brazil now have a pretty easy game against Costa Rica, but I'm still want to see what Brazil do against Paraguay and later on against Colombia. That is going to be the real test for Brazil. So I wouldn't say advantage Brazil to top, but Colombia definitely needed a more convincing performance if they wanted to top the group. I'll send you the Suarez handball cardboard cutout if I can find it. Okay. Colombia might be getting overhyped. Maybe I overhyped Colombia. If their front three clicks, if Lucho Diaz improves, if John Arias improves, and I really hope that John Lukumi is not out injured. I mean, it probably is better for Argentina's chances of the tournament if John Locomí is injured. Jerry Mina and Davinson Sanchez as your backline isn't gonna cut it, man. It really isn't. I have Uruguay knocking out Colombia. Listen, seeing how both teams played in the first match day, I would agree. I think Uruguay played a lot better than Colombia. Although Uruguay did get overrun by Panama for 30 minutes of that second half. That is something we cannot forget. Panama were the better team against Uruguay for like 30 minutes of that second half. But even though I think that Colombia played a better opponent, Paraguay is definitely a lot better than Panama. Even though maybe not a lot better. Paraguay is better than Panama. Maybe not a lot better. Panama is also pretty decent. Even though Colombia faced tougher opposition, you can see that Uruguay were clicking a lot better than Colombia, at least offensively. So yeah. I don't think I have that many thoughts about this game. It was a good win for Colombia. A very fought one because, yeah, Lucho Diaz has to do better. If Colombia are going to have a chance in this tournament, Luis Diaz has to step up. And if John Locomí is out with an injury, Jerry Mina and Davinson Sanchez will have to step up as well. And I don't trust that backline. So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. It was another fun watch along being here with you guys, watching more of the Copa America. Later on, we're going to be discussing with AD the match day one of the Copa America, and that video is probably going to be uploaded tomorrow morning. And later tomorrow night, we're going to have the watch along for Argentina against Chile. So looking forward to that. I hope you guys enjoyed. Remember to like and subscribe if you are new watching here for more Copa America content.